Vivek Ramaswamy puts on an absolute masterclass to this young black woman who's blaming all of her problems on systematic racism. You guys have got to check this out.
Being a man of color, when exactly was America great? What period was America great? And if America was great in that period, would you personally go back to it?
Would I go back to 2016 through 2020 in this country? I would. Actually, I think America was great then.
And why do you think America was great?
Was America great for most of our national history? I think we were, actually. I think America was great.
During slavery, during redlining, Jim Crow laws, civil rights movement.
I think, was America perfect? No. Was America great? Yes, it was, actually.
Actually,
I do think it was.
And a very big extreme that you're jumping, because when exactly was America great? America is not great for the African American woman. America is not great for.
I think there's.
Like what? Are we
can I ask you one question?
What exactly
What's your name?
I'm Felicia.
Felicia. What other country for an African-American woman is better than the United States of America?
Well, I live in the United States of America, so I only want to talk about the United States of America.
Right, exactly. So what country, when I talk about whether America is great, I'm not talking about whether America is perfect.
Well, that's why I'm confused, because when was America great for somebody like me? You just told me
I think America's been great. Yeah, so I think America
great. You just told me where somewhere else that America was great.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just told me basically that it wasn't great for me.
I think America is the greatest country on planet Earth for you.
How?
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Because this is a country where you can achieve the maximum of your God-given potential by working hard.
I am an African-American woman still facing institutionalized, systematic racism.
I don't believe that
I am.
to be true right now.
I am.
There are points in our history where that was true.
Yes,
I think today you are free to achieve.
And I would like to talk about how people like to bring up affirmative action as well.
Well, let me just address your first point. Let me just address your first point.
It really ain't.
I think this is the country on earth where you're able to achieve the maximum of your potential without your skin color standing in your way. This is a country where
that's not true.
I believe it is true.
That's not true.
What are you
What
are you unable to achieve, ma'am? Felicia, what can you?
Fargo, they literally all
what
of these
do you
other
wish to
banks
achieve?
just got sued for not giving home loans to African American people. That happened in 2024.
So let me just ask you, what do you
so-called lower of the property value?
So let me tell you, as a Felicia,
and its ramifications.
Donald Trump is running
for somebody was president.
Donald Trump is running to make America first a reality for all Americans. Let me ask you something very personal, because you made it personal to you. What do you want to achieve in this country that you believe you can't right now because somebody else is stopping you because of your race?
Well, right now, as my future career, I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
However, as we can acknowledge, there's only 5% of black lawyers in the United States at this current moment.
My question is, what are you unable to achieve? Because I think you can achieve that. I believe in you. I believe in you to achieve that.
I'm just saying, why is that the case?
And the number.
She wants to throw out the statistics that 5% of the defense attorneys in America are black African-American women. I'm sorry, but do you not recognize that African-Americans don't make up that much of the population? I believe they're about 17% of. And the thing is, she's claiming that number is so low because there's institutionalized racism that is preventing these people from attaining that position. Whereas the African-American youth, I don't think most of them strive to become a defense attorney. I believe that if you went to a predominantly African-American school, most of the kids would want to become NFL players, NBA players, entertainers. All I'm saying is you cannot claim that it's institutionalized racism. If you want something, go and get it, period. Stop looking for excuses. The only thing standing in your way is you.
You succeed in this country is not your skin color. It is whether or not you actually put in the effort to do what you want.
Yeah, but if you're fighting against an institutionalized system that's going to hold you down, how exactly can you go against that?
I think that there is far greater discrimination in this country by employers against employees on the basis of their political beliefs than there is on the basis of their race.
They don't know your political beliefs unless you express them.
Well, if somebody
they don't know them. How are you being judged
I would
on
tell
your
you,
political views?
I worked in New York City for 10 years.
Yeah.
If somebody wears that red hat, Make America Great Again, and walks in, they're going to face more discrimination than somebody who walks in with black skin. I think that's actually true.
No, they're not.
I think it's true, actually.
They're not.
It wasn't always true. I mean, there's points in our history where the reverse was true, absolutely, but not right now.
Trump. I don't see you wearing a Make America Great Again hat, but what I'm saying is... That's great, you did a costume change, but what I'm saying is, prior to that, you did not have that on. Prior to that, you didn't have that on. So me perceiving you, I'm perceiving you as a man. I'm not perceiving you as a MAGA supporter, Trump supporter, XYZ. I don't perceive you as that until you tell me that is. So how can you say that somebody's being judged on their political views unless you make those political views known?
I can tell you why.
That doesn't make any sense.
I can tell you why. So I'll tell you a story of a woman. I'll tell you a story that you may not be aware of. All right. So there's a company where a woman, she was wearing a red sweater and held Veterans Day at every Friday to acknowledge veterans in her workplace. It was a little affinity group they created. That's what they called it. Now, there was an employee who said that he considered that to be a microaggression. The employer made her stop doing that. She said, okay, I'm just going to bring my red sweater and put it on Fridays on the back of my chair. The employer still stopped her from being able to do that, too. That's political discrimination based on this an anti-racist environment we've created in America. So the irony is in the name of fighting racism, we've actually created political... She lost her job. She would lose her job unless she stops wearing a red sweater. I think it's wrong in America.
She was hired before that, though, so that means on the basis of they did not know what political
she was about to be fired. She was about to be fired for standing for veterans.
Your whole argument was that you are
There's viewpoint discrimination in America today.
There is, but my thing is you are saying that you got discriminated against because, or this woman in this case got discriminated against because of her political views. No one knew her political views until she came in wearing red. You are making an assumption that because of her political views,
and I think she should be able to do that.
Automatically fired her or do that stuff. They hired her because of her work ethic, because of her ability.
Let me just share something with you.
I don't know who this woman is, but
are you a senior?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. And what are you doing for work next? You're going to do a criminal defense attorney? You're going to law school?
Yeah, right now I'm interning.
So let me just share something with you, not as a matter of politics, but it's a matter of somebody who, I'm 39. I've had success in this country. My parents came from nothing. I've lived the full American dream, and I'm really grateful for that. And this is where I'm coming from when I say this. I say this to you just as a fellow citizen who wants to see you succeed and achieve your dreams. The more you view yourself as a victim, the more likely you are to be one. The more you view yourself as empowered, the more likely you are to be empowered. I want you to be empowered. I don't want you to see a world in which there's some invisible lines of hierarchy based on race or gender and that you're being discriminated against, because the more you see the world that way, the more likely you are not to achieve your dreams. Versus if you look at the world and see the world that I see, and this is what America offers, to say that you have your own God-given talents, how are you going to be able to achieve the maximum of your potential? I promise you, nobody is going to stop you in modern America because of your skin color. It's just not going to happen.
They do, but okay.
Give me one. I would love to hear one example where you wanted to, where you tried to get a job and you couldn't get it because of your skin color. I'm sure that's true of people who lived in the 1950s. I'm sure it's true of people who lived in the 1850s.
Now,
I'm also sure that doesn't exist today.
What you're telling me is that they're saying that I can't get a job based on my skin color. They're not going to outright say that because of different laws and policies in place, which is why the systemic racism is part of the conversation.
So look,
so
I think that here's the thing.
Racism exists, but trust me, I know this person's inner dialogue. I know their motives and their intentions. Why on God's green earth would you waste your own energy trying to prove something that does not exist rather than making yourself the best candidate possible? I can guarantee you, if you stopped looking for excuses and spent that time bettering yourself for the position, that you would be exponentially better equipped for that job.
In the 1960s, Martin Luther King said we want to live in a country where we're judged not on our color of our skin, but on the content of our character and our contributions.
Yeah.
We are 60 years later in a promised land far greater than he could have ever imagined. We've elected a black president of the United States. We've had a black attorney general. We've had black success at every level in this country. So
they can't explicitly say that because they'll get sued. They'll get different legal ramifications. And that's where the intersectionality of the institutionalized systemic racism comes in.
So
because you can't blatantly say that. You hide behind policies and laws to say that.
Tell me if we can find some common ground, because that's my goal of being here. Do you agree with me? The best way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do you agree with me on that? Because I think that if you want to stop discrimination on the basis of race, let's stop discriminating on the basis of race. Can we agree on that?
You want me to agree with it? You know what? Fine.
So at least we can agree that's a principle.
It's a loaded statement, but okay, it's a loaded statement.
So I think that part of and let me give you one. You gave me a little give. I'm going to give you one give too. All right. I'm going to give you one give too. I think that, and this may surprise a lot of people in the audience, but it's true, and I'm going to say it. In the last probably year, I think we have started to see something I never would have imagined seeing 10 years ago, which is the slightest uptick of actual anti-black racism in the country. And I'll tell you why we're seeing it.
How?
It's coming as a backlash to years of affirmative action. Because when you take something away from somebody on the basis of their skin color, there's no greater way to foster racism than to take something of value from somebody based on their skin color. And it's sad to see. I don't want to see that in this country, but the best way to get there is restore merit over group quotas. And I think there's no middle ground. Either you believe in merit or you believe in group quotas. You can't have both. I stand for merit, and I think that's better for Americans of every skin color, including black Americans as well. At my company, I found a multi-billion-dollar company. I had a black executive, okay? And I don't care about her skin color. It doesn't matter to me. I've had black executives at multiple companies I've built. I'll tell you a sad story that happened. She got her job because she was good at what she did. That's why I recruited her. A guy who wasn't particularly as good at his job didn't get the promotion to the position that she held. You hear the conversation, what do you hear? It says, oh, she only got her job because of her race and gender. Well, actually, in her case, that just wasn't true at all. But the reason he's able to say that is because most other companies in the industry are applying racial quotas to who actually gets those jobs. So it's not good for white Americans or Asians. It's not good for black Americans either. What we need is colorblind meritocracy in America. And affirmative action, I do think, is the biggest form of institutional racism that exists today. That's what I believe.
He killed it at the end there, because that's exactly right. If you continually prioritize one group or one race of Americans over another, eventually every other race is going to say, wait a second, what the heck is going on here? Why do you keep giving them a leg up over everybody else? Shouldn't we judge who gets this position, who gets this job, who gets invited into this college based on who has the best grades, character, background, standing? We don't want to prioritize people just on the basis of their skin. That is racism in itself, prioritizing one race over another. Reverse racism is racism. But I will say something, though. I have to give credit to this woman because she is more articulate than I thought she would be going into this. Personally, I just feel bad for the woman because she has such potential. She can achieve anything in this world if she would only get out of her own way. It's such a shame what the media has done to this generation, because if you turn on CNN or MSNBC, they're going to constantly tell you that you are a victim. You don't have what you want because of this, because of the capitalists, because of Elon Musk, because of the color of your skin. How about no? America is the land of opportunity. Anything can be achieved. As long as you have that vision in your mind and you work your tail off day in and day out, I believe anything can be attained. And the people who are perpetuating this lie that they are a victim, they are only poisoning the youth, and this is a great example of that right here. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think that systemic racism actually exists? And if so, why do you think that? Let me know down below. I'd love to see that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.